And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the annual Misties Awards, the 2024 virtual awards ceremony and panel discussion. I am Lee Christie. I'm a co-founder of Misty West and the Misties Awards. We are so excited today because we have a huge number of amazing winners this year. Every year, it seems like our winners it just gets better and better and better. We get more and more excited, more and more impact on the sustainable development goals. You get the idea. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk a little bit about the schedule for today. We're going to start out talking a little bit about the Misties Awards, moving into talking about our partners. Our partners are going to get the chance to talk about what they do and how they're contributing to this wonderful ecosystem of intelligent and connected devices. And then we'll be doing a panel discussion on future-proofing products, navigating the edge AI revolution. That's going to be with some wonderful guest speakers from Edge Impulse and Google X Moonshot Factory and Memfault, and just some folks that have worked on all sorts of amazing things. And then we also have we're also going to do the top 20 sort of. I think we go in reverse order. So starting with number 20 all the way through number 1, each of these winners are going to get the opportunity to do a short acceptance speech. And then we're going to switch over to a virtual happy hour where everyone will kind of get to know each other in breakout rooms here on Zoom. And we are YouTubing everything up until the virtual happy hour. So for those of you who are joining on YouTube, welcome. Very happy to have you here. So first of all, just a little bit about the Misties and Misty West. We're here at Misty West. This is physically where I am right now. I'm looking around me. There's engineers working on electronics and firmware and edge AI and machine learning and mechanical engineering, industrial design. They're all designing and working on devices, intelligent and connected devices. It actually should be like intelligent and or connected devices, because not every intelligent device is connected and not every connected device is intelligent, but you get the idea. We decided that what was sort of missing in our industry was an award for specific individuals who've worked on specific projects, as opposed to an award for a product or an award for a startup company. This is an award, Misties are an award for individual contributors, the unsung heroes of hardware, the people that put in the blood, sweat, and tears to make it possible for a new creation to come into reality that depends on product design and product management and industrial design and engineering and all the above. So that's what the Misties is all about. And first and foremost, it's all about building community. That's the number one most important thing, is that we can get all these people connected together, learning from one another, contributing. And if we can pull that off, then mission accomplished. As a secondary objective, Misty West is the chief sponsor, the lead sponsor of the awards. We created the awards, but we're also trying to create an ecosystem for all the partners, all the sponsors that are involved in the Misty's Awards, like Memfault and SolidWorks and Particle and all these amazing companies like Intent. There's many really great ones, and we really want you to get to know these partners and get to know what they're offering and understand how they contribute to the ecosystem. So we're going to give them a chance to talk today as well. But it's all about, at the heart of it is like, okay, why do this at all? Why do we even bother making intelligent connected devices? Sometimes you make a device and it doesn't really do much, doesn't have much impact. It's R&D, it never goes anywhere. But then other times you build it and it gets commercialized and it impacts millions of people around the world, and it helps solve a major problem in the world. So what do we use for the criteria? It's what's the main way to figure out if you're having impact? Well, we like to use the Sustainable Development Goals that are ratified by every country on Earth. The goals talk about climate change and gender equality, life on land, life in the ocean. There's 18 goals total, and I encourage you all to check them out. So that's how we kind of judge whether these projects, these devices are having a positive impact on the world. Here's some stats for you. We've given away, so we don't really talk about this when we're advertising the Misties Awards. We don't really lead with this, right? Because it doesn't quite feel right. But we've actually given away now $35,000 in prizes. A lot of that has been cash to the winners for the past 2 years, and we're going to do that again this year. We don't give cash to all the winners. We typically give it to the top 5. I think last year we gave it to the top 10. But that's not really what it's all about. That's not the primary reason why we do it, but huge thank you to our sponsors to make that possible. And this year we allocated quite a bit of that budget for travel to come here to Vancouver. We've also had hundreds and hundreds, nearly, I think we're coming up on 1,000. Oh, can everyone hear me okay? And my audio might have just cut out. Okay, we're still good. Okay. Um, yeah, so we're actually I think like by next year, I predict that we'll have had over 1,000 nominees for the Misties Awards. So a lot of people have been nominated for this award, and every year the nominees get better and better and better, and every year the winners get better and better and better. So our goal for the awards, just to be crystal clear about that, is we want to be one of the largest award series in hardware development in the world. That is the goal. Right now, I think we're already one of the largest for the specific category of intelligent connected devices for individuals, but we want to sort of be on a global stage long term. Every year, the awards are kind of on track for kind of doubling in size. So if we keep doubling in size, we'll get pretty big pretty quick. And we're looking to all of you who are listening here today, all the sponsors, all the participants, all the nominators, all the nominees, all the judges. We're looking to you to help us grow this event. Um, all right, so I'm not going to go through every single one of them. They are absolutely amazing. This is this year's judges. There's 3 pages of judges here. We have Eric Majakowski from Pebble and Beeper. We have Doris, who's also a panelist here with us today from Google X. We have folks from Extron Electronics, Informatech, Blue Style Partners, Edge Impulse, Nordic Semiconductor, Microsoft, the Royal Canadian Navy, Nova, Lux Capital, Not an Office. We have Big Rock Creative, Archetype AI. We have people from AJ ProTech, like Alex from AJ ProTech. We also have, of course, Suchit from SolidWorks 3D Experience. Sarah, who's on the line right now from Particle, CComp, Prairie City Solutions. We also have someone from Ghent University in Belgium, and a professor of artificial intelligence from Texas. We have Matt Mickelson, who was a winner last year from Cruise, from GM, the co-founder of Exyn Technologies as a judge, Halal Systems, the University of British Columbia, Flare Systems. So pretty amazing. I would say pretty amazing group of judges, a lot of diversity from a wide variety of backgrounds, and we're very proud of our judges. That said, every year we add new judges. So if you yourself want to be a judge for next year, please let us know. Please reach out to me personally or one of the organizers of the Misties. We're always taking on new judges, and we have several judges this year who've been judging since the beginning. So this is their 3rd year judging. I think we have at least 3 or 4 of those. So we try to keep that tradition going. So, all right, let's jump into our partners. I'm just going to introduce them really quickly, and then I think we're going to give SolidWorks the opportunity to speak first, then Memfault, then Hawkridge, Nordic, Intent, Particle, and I don't think the silver sponsors are speaking today, but I'm going to introduce them anyway. Our huge thank you to SolidWorks, aka Dassault Systems, for being a platinum sponsor for the 2nd year in a row. They've been a longtime partner of ours at our events at CES Founders and Friends. Memfault is also a platinum sponsor this year. They are also a sponsor from CES Founders and Friends as well. For those of you who haven't heard of CES Founders and Friends, it's a giant party we throw every year at CES. You're all invited. If you haven't been invited before, please reach out. Hawkridge Systems is a gold sponsor. Nordic Semiconductor, who's been a long-time sponsor of ours for many years. Thank you for their contributions over the years. Intent is a new sponsor, and I think Wojciech is here today to say a few words on their behalf. Particle, we partnered with many years ago, and then they've come back now as a partner again. So very excited to have them as a returning partner. And our silver sponsors, Royal Bank is a sponsor, August Electronics, Lutra, Xvera, and Galvanize. So let's everyone take your screenshots, capture those images, get to know these companies. They are all absolutely amazing. I highly recommend them. How are we doing for time? We're doing pretty good, I think. All right, starting with Roland from SolidWorks Dassault Systems. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I am still sharing. Go ahead, Roland.
Great. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much, Lee, and everybody at Misty Wets for having us. It's an honor to be included at the Misties. Again, my name's Roland Willis, and I manage the SolidWorks for Startups program for the Americas. So you can switch to the next slide if you want. So, so we work with startups worldwide and in every industry. Many of the startups who've entered our program have gone on to do quite well. And we're thrilled to count them among our many customers today. You can go to the next slide. So SolidWorks is the most adopted computer-aided design system in the mainstream market. We've got over 6.5 million users, including students, well over 1 million commercial users. And really, the goal of the program is to help startups beyond the design process. As an example, I manage a podcast called Born to Design. We give founders the opportunity to share their stories and their journeys. Each year, we also feature a number of startups on the main stage at our annual event called 3D Experience World, where they can show their technology to literally thousands of people around the world. Next slide. So we know very well that product development takes time, it takes money, and a lot of resources. And we created this program to help startups by providing a suite of tools to help not only with the engineering designs, but also with document creation, product visualization, and even tools for doing market analysis. So if they want to see, what the market is saying about the technology they're considering, there are tools for that. Next slide. The basics of the program, it's a 3-year journey. And we provide a full suite of tools at no cost in year one. The second year, it's a 70% off. And the third year, it's 50% off. So we can go to the next slide. This is just a basic list of the initial offerings. However, there are over 200 different roles beyond just the CAD piece. And startups have access to a lot of additional capabilities, ranging from things like electromagnetics to CAM to advanced simulation and a whole lot more. This is literally what you're seeing is the very tip of the iceberg. We go to the next slide. So today, we know the complexities of product creation really require full integration with multiple disciplines, and that ranges from simulation to manufacturing and an architecture that can ensure modular scalability to support the continuous flow of innovation and new solutions. And this is why SolidWorks is expanding to what we call the 3D Experience platform in the cloud with 3D Experience Works. And 3D Experience platform really, at its core, enables startups to work from any location and on any device. So what you see here is the basics for entry into the program. Essentially, you have to be designing or building a physical product with the goal being to sell it in the market, less than $1 million in revenue and not more than 5 years old. We look at all the applications. I review them every day, and so we can go on to the next slide here. So again, we've had the privilege of working with startups who are developing all kinds of really cool and disruptive technologies. And for me, I absolutely love speaking with founders about their ideas. And each day really brings something new and exciting for me. That's what gets me up every morning. It's a thrill. And you can go to the next slide. We can switch to the next slide too. That one's a repeat. So basically, the application process itself is very simple and straightforward. We do our best to review and respond to everybody within 24 hours. So we know you don't have the luxury of time, and we try to accommodate that. And we can go right to the last slide. So thanks again, everybody, for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
I'll give everyone a chance to type up that URL there, solidworks.com/startups. Apply now, spread the good word. This program is absolutely amazing. Many of our clients and partners have gone through this program and have applied to it, and they all absolutely love it. We cannot speak highly enough about it. Please do spread the good word. All right. Memfault, you're up.
Thanks, Lee. Really appreciate it. My name is Zach Greenberg. Really excited to be here. I want to briefly say we're extremely grateful to be a platinum sponsor for Misty West and to be a part of the Misties. Also to have you guys as an integration partner, which we really appreciate. I will give my background very briefly in that I used to work in the bike industry. How did I find myself in the embedded, connected, or IoT space? Funny enough, I found a lot of devices in the industry, such as smart trainers, head units, heart rate monitors, you name it. There's some form of connectivity, point of sale systems. And I was typically tasked with troubleshooting them, working with customers to improve how they operated, or sending them back to the distributor. So this is where I landed, and I'm stoked to be a part of the Memfault team. You can go to the next slide. So what is Memfault? Memfault is a platform built by firmware engineers for firmware engineers to improve the ability for teams to find faults and ship fixes fast. You launch a device in the field, we want to make sure that that process is smooth, and there's a few areas in which we do so. First, we help your team collect fleet-wide metrics and understand the time series metrics leading up to a crash, what caused a particular device leading up to a crash, and the metrics that lead up to. Next, monitor how the device is working. If it's a V2 device, your first device, a new software version you released, we want to check the behavior of the device and make sure that it's operating in its normal capacity. Many of our customers rely on us for the remote debugging capabilities that Memfault enables your team to do. Capturing a core dump, or basically a full snapshot image of what the device looked like at the time of a crash, and giving your team a means of quickly root causing and debugging those issues before they land in your end customer's hands. And lastly, there's no need to build your own infrastructure for OTA. We have an OTA infrastructure that sends out the ability to do cohorting, stage rollouts, must pass through, and it just works at the end of the day. Lee, next slide, please. I wanted to highlight a few customers that we work with, and you can see from the screen, very large range of industries that we work into. If your team is building a connected product, we know that there's a means of improving what you guys have built in-house to have observability and monitoring for your devices. So we want to help shift teams from working reactively to proactively and uniting hardware and software teams. There's many people on the call today who I assume work with hardware, but do you define yourself as a hardware engineer, software engineer, product manager? Memfault is really a means of uniting all three to be able to have clear understanding of how your devices are working and make sure that they work in the field and your customers are satisfied with how they operate. Feel free to connect with me over LinkedIn, and if you're at the event, looking forward to meeting everyone. But thanks again, Lee.
I will do a little quick intro on myself. I'm Sarah. I run the partnerships program here at Particle. I've been here for a little over 2 years. Essentially when I joined, we were a truly direct to customer type of organization. We've been around for 10 years, and over the years, we've realized how valuable the ecosystem is. So I joined the company and helped build out our referral and reseller program, Misty West being one of our key partners from a design and engineering standpoint. And I'll share with you a little bit about what we do and how it all comes together. But first off, congratulations to all the winners. And we are grateful to be a sponsor and be a part of this today. We'll go to the next slide. So for those who are not familiar, Particle is considered an edge to cloud infrastructure. We essentially have created a really good recipe that works to build IoT all the way from the hardware to the software and everything under the application layer itself. Long ago, when we started, we were considering the concept of verticalizing as far as the solution itself and what we were offering. We were finding ourselves in a lot of common places like smart lighting controls or building systems and what have you, sustainability types of use cases. But we decided that we wanted to just provide really, really good and really well-working IoT infrastructure to all of the different customers that we work with today. And so over the years, we've evolved as a true edge to cloud infrastructure for IoT. Our customers build on top of us. We have a strong base in the developer community which is actually what's fueled a lot of our growth over the last 10 years. These are just some examples of some of the customers that we work with, but we are truly an enterprise first platform that clients can leverage to take their products to market rather than having to build it themselves. They can leverage Particle and work with us in a managed services capacity. Going to the next slide, I'll quickly just give you a nice little tidbit on kind of how we interact with our customers and just the market in general. As I've mentioned, we've really tried to master the concept of IoT, and we've chosen to intentionally stay out of the application layers and customizing as far as use cases go on a case-by-case basis for each client. We decided that we want to be able to provide that infrastructure. This is a quote that comes from one of our key clients that we've worked with now for over 8 years. You know, we were getting into really technical conversations, and essentially they looked at us and they said, thank you for everything you've shared, but at the end of the day, we don't really care. We know you do what you do well, and we're here to focus on what we do well. And so it's been a really cool story because that's kind of the way that we engage now with almost anyone we work with, whether you're a partner who's actually doing the design and engineering for a client or the client itself. I'd say most of our customers, most of our partners really do view us as a technology partner, not necessarily a vendor trying to sell a solution, more so a partner trying to help solve a problem. So going into the next slide, I think we could just skip this one. I'm going to keep this short. So this is just a good example of a logo while showing all the different types of use cases and industries we can support and that we serve today. This doesn't even scratch the surface, to be honest with you, but I think this is a really cool example of how it really doesn't matter what industry you're in. At the end of the day, we can support it. It really just depends on the team that you have that's able to build the IoT or manage or develop the IoT within whatever product is being built. But at the end of the day, like I've said, we provide that infrastructure and ultimately let the clients themselves customize as far as what they're going to do with the application, how they're going to bring that product to market. So this is, we only have 2 slides left. I think we can just go straight to the next slide. I don't need to get into the technical stuff. I think this is just a really good example of how we go to market. So if you see in the blue, these are all the different aspects of IoT that we address. All the yellow represents our partnerships and the partners that we work with in the ecosystem. Together, we're able to truly deliver a fully built product with our customers. And I think this is just a really good example to show how we go to market with folks like Misty West and others that we work with, whether you're a technology partner, integration partner, client yourself, like the OEMs who are building their solutions, or consultants and engineers that are helping all the way at the beginning with clients when they're building the IoT solution. So I'll end it with this and just note that we are always looking to add people to the program. We're always looking to add more partners to our partner program. So if anyone would like to connect, please reach out. And in general, feel free to add me on LinkedIn and would love to meet. So thank you again for having us. And we also will be sending some samples out to the winners. So keep an eye out for that.
Thanks again, Sarah, for all your support, and thanks for being here today. All right, intent. Let's go, Wojciech.
Let's go. My name is Wojciech, and I represent Intent. It's withintent.com. Please check out the website. Lee, thank you for making us part of the Misties. Super stoked. Also great to see our friends at Memfold, Edge Impulse Particle. Hi, everyone. When Lee approached us about sponsoring the Misty Awards, I realized that 2 of our clients were nominated. So big shout out to Kriti from Aura and Adam from Neurable. You're the best. We love you guys. Never stop. But why are Kriti and Adam our clients? Because they both work at companies that make connected devices, and those companies are very focused on their hardware, and rightfully so. Hardware is hard, but it almost feels that the intersection of software and hardware is even harder. And there always comes a moment when a hardware-oriented team needs to start thinking more seriously about software, about their user experience. This is very often when they reach out to us. Intent is a software and design consultancy at the intersection of physical and digital. So you can think about us as software and UX partner for hardware teams. So deep expertise in UX, software engineering, mobile apps, cloud, connectivity, firmware, edge AI. We help you delight your users by strategizing, designing, and developing software for your product. It's enough about us. Check out withintent.com And I want to take a moment and congratulate every and each of you. And thank you for creating technology that makes us human beings better and healthier people, and technology that makes our planet better and healthier place. I really salute your work, and I hope you take a moment today to celebrate and to reflect on the impact you make. Thank you so much.
Is amazing. Let me just say a quick word about Nordic. We've been using Nordic for a very long time with FreeRTOS, and now more recently with Zephyr OS. And we, here at Misty West, we're experts in doing the firmware for Nordic chipsets for a wide variety of devices across a wide variety of industries. We love Nordic. We've been working with them for many, many years. They are a wonderful company to partner with and an amazing source of industry leading chips. Thank you, Nordic, for being here. Thank you, Scott. And let's kick you off.
Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. It's great to be here for I believe this is our third year, right? So
it
since
is,
the beginning. And one of the things that I think myself and Nordic we love about this event is the focus on the people, right? The technology is one thing, all that stuff, but it's the people who make it great, and it's their passion and it's their excitement behind it. So, kudos to you for putting together an event that really focuses on the people. That's awesome. Also, super cool to see so many of our partners here as well. It just kind of goes to speak to the ecosystem that you guys have built as well around Misty West, that so many of the best in industry partners are here today. So awesome. The really for those of you who don't know Nordic, we are the leaders in BLE. We have 40% of the market share of all BLE devices that go into deployments around the world. So that is our bread and butter of our existence. We've been around for 40 years. We know how to do low power, low bandwidth technology better than any semiconductor company out there. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So why do we do it? Obviously, the IoT industry used to just be called wireless embedded, right? Now it's the IoT. The numbers speak for themselves. The growth in this world is amazing, and along that growth, Nordic has grown beyond just dominance in BLE. We also have Wi-Fi and cellular product offerings as well. From a cellular perspective, LTE-M, NB-IoT, we are a third lower power than our nearest competitor. So again, market dominance in very, very specific connectivity roles, where we are the low power, lower bandwidth technology provider out there. We're not going to be the guys streaming the 8K video stream to your TV. We're in the smartwatch, the health monitoring, the agricultural sensing, the smart home, intelligent buildings. That's where you're going to find Nordic on the inside, right? Go ahead. There we go. Again, just to speak to the product breadth, pretty much that entire wireless spectrum from BLE to long distance cellular type connectivity, all on a single platform, all of it homegrown within Nordic. We didn't build all of this offering by acquisition. So it all works natively within our tool chain, and super graceful to develop products that use any one of those connectivity standards. Go ahead. And then, of course, the rest of the ecosystem, Matter, Sidewalk, works with Google, Amazon, Samsung, just the breadth of the ecosystem that's available when you partner with Nordic. And then the other side of it too, Nordic cares about the rest of the world, right? So just to kind of highlight ESG, Nordic was involved in taking care of the environment, being more eco-friendly before ESG was really a momentum, a thing. We were recently just named one of Time Magazine's most sustainable companies. So that's another great way that we partner with Misty West as well, is their focus on making sure that the ESG story is right and we're doing the right things for the planet and for the people. So Yeah, that's Nordic, and I think I have one more slide here. No, that's it. So the only other thing I'll say is, one of Sarah's slides resonated with me, and talking about the customer quote about focusing on hot tubs versus the cellular side. That has been absolutely one of the reasons Nordic has been so successful out there. Our job is to know the low power connectivity, right? Our job is to connect to your phone via Bluetooth. Our job is to make sure your device is connecting to the cloud via cellular. Your job, you're supposed to be spending your investment dollars, your R&D dollars on making your product special, not does it connect to the phone, right? That's our job. So thanks again. Excited to be here, and always excited to partner with Misty West.
Okay, that's it for the partner talks, and now we're going to jump into the panel discussion. And Adam's back. All right, we got everybody. Okay, awesome. Everyone can, Lauren, Doris, and David, you can all unmute your microphones. And I'm just going to say a few quick words about all y'all, and then you can introduce yourselves, and we're just going to jump right into the panel. Okay, first, a few quick words about myself. I'm Lee Christie from Misty West. I'm a co-founder of Misty West, a co-founder of the Misties Awards. Very happy to be. I'm going to be the panel moderator today. This is one of my favorite parts of my job. I absolutely love it. I get to invite brilliant people to come and talk to us during the Misties Awards and talk about some cool topic every year. This year, it's all about Edge AI, talking about the future of Edge AI and where things are headed, and help people sort of navigate this sort of otherwise nebulous world of AI hardware. And so, David, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. David Schie, is that how I pronounce it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So David Schie is from AIStorm, a very cool edge AI company that works on sensors. He'll have an opportunity to talk all about that. Doris Tang from Google X Moonshot Factory, who has worked on many AI-related projects over the years. X is well known for its moonshots, of course. And Lauren Bedal has worked on a ton of stuff, including at Google as well. I'll let her talk a little bit about her background and the kinds of things that she's interested in. And then Adam Benzion, one of the key people that helped create the company Edge Impulse, and is an executive there, and is also just doing amazing stuff with Edge AI software, a SaaS platform, if you will, that we actually use here at Misty West to help us train up machine learning models for the Edge. I'll let each of you say a few quick words about yourselves, and then we'll jump right into the panel, starting with Adam. Go ahead, Adam.
Cool. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. I think it's my third year with you guys, maybe, doing this the Misties Awards.
It is, yeah.
It is amazing, cool. So happy to be here. Very cool. I used to build actually hardware, my first company that I built, and I appreciate how hard it is and how much effort it is to bring products to market. So everything that's done here and what I've seen, again, being a judge, really blew my mind. Really hard work, really amazing innovations, incredible. So as Lee said, I'm with Edge Impulse. We're a company that helps developers and engineers build data sets, train models, optimize libraries, and run them directly on devices. Anything from the smallest microcontroller, even up to gateways, GPUs, and CPUs, and the latest neural accelerators. So that's what we do. That's what I do. And I typically work with a lot of our partnerships at Edge Impulse, located in Seattle. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Happy to have you. Lauren, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll share a bit about me and Archetype AI. So I'm Lauren Bedal, a interaction designer at Archetype AI. Most of my work is in the R&D 0 to 1 product development space. And prior to joining Archetype, I was at Google's Advanced Technology and Projects group, focused on new interaction techniques using sensor-based AI solutions for physical devices. And then a bit about Archetype AI. This is a fairly new startup pioneering a new type of AI, what we call physical AI. And this is really about fusing artificial intelligence with real-world sensor data. So we're building Newton, which is a first of its kind foundation model for understanding the physical world. So instead of analyzing online text and images like common generative AI models today, Newton is fusing multimodal temporal data, including signals from accelerometers, gyroscopes, cameras, radars, you name it, all with natural language. So our goal is really to develop a AI platform for physical AI solutions. So hoping to bring, as a designer, hoping to bring a design and user focused lens to the discussion. So yeah, thank you, Lee, for having me.
Thank you for being here. Let's go to Doris.
Great. Thanks for having me, Lauren. I have so many questions about what you're doing. It sounds so cool. Doris from the Moonshot Factory. I've been here for about 8.5 years, engineer by background, but I tend to play roles in between product, business, and customer, and engineering. And I've worked across a number of different industries and in different roles, but it's always been fun because I think we get to work at the intersection of finding novel solutions that will hopefully do good for the world. Part of our raison d'etre is to make the world a better place. And we want to make sure that whatever we're doing is both sustainable, as a sustainable business, and has long-term impact.
Awesome. Let's go to David. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, thanks again for having me today. So David Schie, CEO of AIStorm. So my background is many years in Silicon Valley, working for some major analog and mixed signal IC companies. And AIStorm, we focus on AI and sensor, which is often monolithic devices with the imager, the AI, all the other components built in. We also do audio and we do motion. And the big difference is we do our AI processing using the components of pixels. So we don't use conventional digital and we don't use the PIM type. So we also do IP blocks for major imaging companies when they want to do processing in the device, in the imager itself. And we also do services to help training those devices and deploy them. Usually we include the communications on the devices, so the customer has just a single device, very low power, very low cost, and they can deploy it very easily into a lot of IoT applications.
Awesome. All right, let's kick things off with a few questions. We want to save a little bit of time for questions from the audience as well. So I'll start off with a doozy. When you say edge AI, people think, oh, okay, what's that exactly? We can't quite figure it out. They're like, sometimes people think it means like server racks or something like that. I define, the way I like to define edge AI is like, can a human pick it up? If a human if a big strong human can pick it up and walk around with it and disconnect it, and it can still do AI stuff, if it still has hardware acceleration, it can still do lots of dot products and matrix math, then it's if that's an edge, I call that an edge AI device personally. Maybe that's not the official definition. But that could be, a human could pick up a lot of H100s, right? So, in that sense, H100s and other giant NVIDIA GPUs could be considered edge AI. But frankly, that stuff is so in the world, in my opinion, of generative cloud server rack AI that for me, it's like, I try not to get that mixed up with what I'm talking about when I say edge AI, which is typically more like ARM-based architectures or microcontrollers that have either an NPU or some kind of hardware acceleration that allows you to offload that matrix math to rather than it going on the CPU, and it makes it much more efficient. So that's kind of what this conversation is centered around today, and it really does feel to me like edge AI is really starting to take off. That's how it looks like to me. So the first question I'm going to ask all four of you is, will edge AI grow fast or faster than cloud AI over the next 5 years? Let's go through the list real quick, starting with Adam.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I think I like your definition. It's a device. It's almost like an IoT device that kind of grew up and got a brain, and it's starting to do things that are beyond telemetry and starting to make decisions and create things that are, a lot more intelligent. So will it grow faster? Right now, the momentum is definitely with cloud AI, right? Everybody's super excited with everything that OpenAI started. We all use all these technologies from image diffusion to language models. So it's very exciting and it's growing really fast. But I think that it's catching up now and it's going in tandem with the edge AI technology, because there are actually a lot more devices in the world. They don't really necessarily connect to the internet all the time. They don't have, they have reduced latency and they have different privacy needs. So they're going to actually starting to kind of take over. And also take advantage of what the cloud AI does, right? You can run models on an AGI device that have been reduced in size that have been trained actually on the cloud. So you actually kind of need both. And we actually work with a bunch of the people on the panel with Nordic and Particle to do that, to run things locally on devices that were built for the local, smaller, remote world that somehow also leveraged the cloud. So I think AGI is now coming up, and you see this also from Gartner. They talk about this, that is actually catching up to what the cloud AI is doing.
Awesome. Let's go to David. David, what do you think? Is the cloud going to dominate forever, or are we going to see edge AI gain similar or even better growth rates?
It depends if you're talking about units or total revenue. What's been holding back the edge AI is actually cost and also the training. So it's usually quite a stratified market with a large number of customers that aren't that familiar and also limited resources. So it's extremely hard to train them. So we have a number of very large investors that themselves are IC companies, and a lot of them have said it's just too much effort to support these customers. It's not like the microcontroller model where you can throw an eval kit at them, because you actually have to collect the data, you have to actually train, you have to go through all that, and they're finding it's just too much touch. So there are methods that people are using to reduce that touch. If they can reduce the touch and get these things deployed without having to spend so much resources on each customer, and if we can get the cost down, and I mean below $1 kind of cost down, which is where you need to be for this very high volume deployment, then yeah, it has the potential. And in the semiconductor companies I worked for, we would sell chips for 8 cents and 12 cents. That was kind of where they were. They need to be really low cost. So when you see people walking in with $100, $200 devices and think that they're going to go mass deployment into some of these edge applications, I think it's unrealistic. But long term, those are two solvable problems, and I just think there are more applications for the edge, but those have to be solved. If they do, it'll grow larger, I think.
Great answer. Let's go to Doris.
Yeah, I agree with what's been said already. I mean, I think some of the challenges is, and some of the sponsors touched on this, I don't think that many people understand the intersection of hardware, especially edge hardware, and then software, and then how to make that whole ecosystem work. One of the projects I'm on right now is Chorus, and we're dealing with operations on the ground, like for software engineers in the back to really understand what it means to be a driver in a truck, and then connect that to the data they're getting, and the types of hardware we have to deploy, and the environments that we're deploying them in. I don't think there's a good cross-functional understanding it. That's not natural for most people. I think the other challenge is there is a lot of hype around cloud, and I think we're still in this mode where everyone wants all the data, and by definition, edge isn't using all the data. So I think until we feel comfortable of letting go of some of the data that maybe we're confident there's no ponies hiding around, then I think it'll start to accelerate more quickly on the edge side.
All right, Lauren, how about you? What do you think? Is edge AI gonna catch up in growth rates in terms of revenue and units with cloud AI? Let's stick with revenue. Actually, it's the easiest way to define it.
Yeah, first of all, I love your definition, especially as working with technical folks, but not being from a technical background myself. I love the definition of that you can pick it up. And yeah, I think broadly, over the past 20 years, we've really seen a shift in the deployment of applications. Initially, we had this shift from data centers to the cloud, which really increased capacity. And now we're entering this whole next phase, this next era of edge computing. And I think with the growing amount of sensor data available and the growing need from customers for real-time processing, that it's clear that relying solely on cloud solutions is no longer sufficient. So I think it's very powerful because it's bringing computation closer to where the data is. And, just this last week, actually, the Archetype team demoed for some folks and execs in wireless telecommunications industry, our foundation model, Newton, running on-prem on one GPU, one server for real-time analysis of traffic patterns and for vehicles. And I think this was very well received. It just shows kind of the potential and the shift that we're headed in. That's very promising, and just promising examples of bringing AI to the data. So yeah, I think, cloud solutions will also inevitably grow, but I think Edge AI's benefits are definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. We're going to kind of go for the remainder. We got about 15 minutes left. We're going to go into sort of more discussion mode. So feel free to interrupt each other, chime in where you want to chime in, be a little bit less structured in the conversation. But I was wondering, would any of you like to make some predictions about the speed of progress in the industry as measured by tops per watt, tops per cubic centimeter, or tops per unit volume, and tops per dollar? The reason why I asked this question is, of course, you have Moore's law in the world of silicon, the number of transistors per unit area. But what I want to know is, like, how fast are edge devices getting better? It seems like they're getting better really fast. Maybe start out with David, because David, you're right. You're right in the thick of it, aren't you?
Yeah, we're in the thick of it. I mean, depends on the type of device. GPUs operate differently to CPUs operate differently to process in memory. And also you talked about vector multipliers versus some others. So, I mean, some of the leading devices, might be hitting 12 tops per millimeter on a die. In terms of efficiencies, top per watt, we're hitting 450, which is really high. People are hitting, using different technologies over 100. So you get some of the charge-based devices at 150. Some of the really small lithography digital ones are getting into the tens, you could say, of tops per watt. And some of the PIM stuff are getting to 25 to 50. I think, I think at the Mac level, they're getting into the thousands, but once you add all the biasing, all the digital, all the control, all the graph control and so forth, then, you come back, and it depends on the model. If you're doing something like MobileNet with a lot of bootstraps, you have these huge numbers of inputs that really favor certain types of topologies, like our charge-based topology. Then you can get into the hundreds. But if you have a lot of smaller 3x3s, for example, it drops. So I would say between 50 and 500 is probably the sweet spot for tops per watt, but it increases on a regular basis, as you say. And some of the newer technologies like charge mean that we don't have to throw nanometers at it. We don't have to pay for these huge, expensive mass sets. If we multiply by charge, for example, just using the electrons that are collected by the image sensor and do it directly, this cuts out all the ADCs and DACs and all these other things, and that really helps. So there's a lot of creativity out there, but those are my 2 cents, I guess, on some of the figures that you asked for.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you just anecdotally, right? Like, we use NPUs, we use mostly ARM-based architectures. We've obviously the RZ-V2L from Renesas, for example, which does two tops, 2 watts. It's pretty, it's not a hyper. We think of it as fairly efficient, but
Not
but
efficient,
it's
2 tops.
yeah. But it's low cost, and it has no heat sink, no fan. That's
Yeah.
the big thing with us, right? Is that it's an ARM-based architecture, so it does have this ability. We can do inference at the edge with it. And what we're seeing, though, is the next generation of inference chips are similar wattage, but they're like 10 tops, 20 tops, right? And that's what, that's a little taste of things to come, not just from Renesas, but we're starting to see that from these other providers as well. Can that pace of change continue? Like, we're talking 10x improvement in 2 years. Like, that's wild, a wild pace. Doris, Lauren, and Adam, do you want to comment on the pace of innovation there? Do you see it continuing?
I could add something. I saw, you're right, everything, like everybody's adding neural acceleration, and I see what also Synopsys does, not only ARM. Everybody's innovating and adding so much capabilities, but just it's something a little different. I was at GTC this year. It was this year or last year? The last GTC, the NVIDIA GTC, which is, again, bigger devices. These are not edge devices. But Jensen, the AI god of the moment, he showed like this pretty substantial data center, those big racks, the big towers, and how year over year, like, this is what it was a year ago, and everything got shrunk to a single rack that can actually do more things that the entire data center could have done a year ago, running on less power and consuming so much. So it's incredible. Like, the rate of innovation is super fast, but I wonder if the rate of consumption and what also we talked about, the data, etc., all the hardship of training things and making things actually work. So if that slows down the consumption of it, so maybe also slows down, how many more products are you gonna, run to the market? But I'm sticking with more all that stuff, the more law of principles. It just gets, it's still fast and it's still innovating really rapidly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And I would actually say that, the reliance on the ARM type cores is holding the industry back. Like there were a lot of unique ideas that went away, but the new technologies actually just blow that sort of thing out of the water. So yeah, from new areas, you'll see a lot of improvement. Squeezing every last bit out of the same digital kind of solutions is getting old now.
What kind of tell me us a bit more about the architectures of the chips that you work on. Are people typically running them real time? Is it free RTOS type stuff, Zephyr, or what are you guys running?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm just curious. Like when they pair up your sensors with the kind of chips you work on, what tell us a little bit more about what
Yeah, sure. So we'll, for example, include the image sensor, so up to 50 megapixels. We'll literally take the charge from those, and the pixel becomes a neuron itself. And we actually use basically pixels for neurons, and we multiply using time and using the charge. So in terms of the actual control that you're describing, we can do either analog or digital using these components. So it doesn't become an analog or digital fight. In fact, one of our goals is to eliminate transistors from digital, which sounds crazy, but it's true. And yeah, you can get extremely high speeds, like hundreds of gigahertz equivalent to a transistor-based digital. And you can also use those devices to do the kind of control, the graph control that you're describing. So normally we would have the on-chip, always-on devices. They would be connected to a small network that would, for example, detect a face and then basically run AI continuously. But then you would have additional resources that would start to really run the full thing. And that would include basically time-based multiplexers, which connect the devices together. So on-chip networks, those on-chip networks basically had to work out systolically which neurons to use where on the chip. And then between those and the graph control, between the compiler and the real-time operation, they try to optimize the use of those devices. It all happens without doing digital control for the neural network until the end. At the end, we'll convert it back to some sort of digital form and output it.
Right on. That's awesome. That's really great. So we have a bit more time here. I want to just blast through a couple more quick questions. I wanted to ask this one question, but the two questions are going to merge it into one question. Who do you guys think are the leaders in this space? In terms of, and it could be, your answer could be software, it could be hardware, it could be services, or it could be whatever. And also, what kind of futuristic things do consumers have to look forward to? Not just consumers. Let's say consumers and users. Let's talk B2B as well as consumers. So not just consumer, B2B and consumers. What things can we look forward to? What kinds of new products, new inventions that are going to be unlocked as a result of lower latency, higher privacy, higher security, lower cloud fees or no cloud fees? All the hallmark advantages of edge AI, right? Low latency, being on premise, high security, high privacy, low cloud fees. What can we look forward to? Paint a picture for us and see if you can at the same time name your favorite pick for who's going to be a big winner in this space. Maybe we'll start with Lauren.
Cool. Yeah, I think there's obviously some of the big main players like NVIDIA with their, powerful GPUs, the Jetson platform, Apple, who's really pushing the boundaries of edge capabilities. And also, you're really holding those capabilities in your hand, to your point, Lee, and as well as Qualcomm. And I think it's also worth noting some of the early companies, especially in the AI space. There's so many startups now doing really amazing things. I want to highlight a company, Modular. I believe they're ex-Googlers. They're developing a modern tech stack for AI that's for both edge and cloud environments. And if I remember correctly, Modular also has their own programming language for AI. I think it's called Mojo. And I think just the versatility of what they have to offer shows a great early company tackling really gnarly AI infrastructure problems.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Doris,
should I pass it around?
Yeah, we just have we're going to take some questions from the audience, but I want to give Doris a chance to answer before we go to the questions. Sorry to cut you off.
Yep.
You know what, and mine will be short, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to drop off immediately after I give my answer. When you wrote the question in email, Lee, I took it in a totally different direction in terms of what was interesting and what was cool that was coming. And my answer is actually, I don't know yet. And all I hope is that we've seen tech kind of continue to divide the haves and have-nots. And I wish and I hope that edge AI or anything that comes up next is something that helps to close the gap, that makes things more accessible to more people. It helps equalize our ability to share in what we have. I have a kid, and I know that others do as well. And I think there's a question about what we want to leave in terms of our legacy and what kind of world we want them to step into. So I know that was a more philosophical answer, but that is my hope for the next generation, for what comes next.
I love philosophical answers. Doris, you don't need to stick around for the question. If you've got to go, we won't be offended. I hope the other three can stick around, and we're going to pop up a few questions from the audience here. But that was a great answer, Doris. Thank you very much. And thank you for your time. Thank you for being on the panel. The question from the audience is, long term, do you think most processing will be on edge because compute gets so good, cheap, and light? Or will there be more cloud-based because connectivity will be so cheap? I think what this person is asking is like, look, if the cost of bandwidth goes to zero, or at the edge continue to just go bananas, then maybe, okay, so that's what this person is asking. Let's make some predictions here. We'll start in reverse order. We'll go with Lauren to start.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think one can definitely speculate. I think one thing I'm interested here is, both of these will be around, I think, in some fashion working together. So the question remains of, how might we use heterogeneous computing or hybrid workloads to really deliver on some of these use cases effectively. I see several different use cases in different industries having advantages of things being on the edge versus cloud for reasons like you said around privacy and just optimization in general. In the construction industry, there's more timely things that might have to happen on the edge versus more longitudinal analytics can maybe happen in the cloud. So I personally see them kind of still living together, but who knows?
All right. Adam, David, you guys want to take a crack at it?
I'll take a crack at it. I think that number one, when you actually look at some of the costs it runs to run these big farms, GPUs, etc., even training by minutes, on AWS or otherwise, it is so expensive. It's expensive on the environment, on electricity, and on the pocket. It's a lot. You have to see it. So we just go and we use OpenAI for all sorts of stuff, but there's a real cost, and the companies behind it are paying the cost. So I think number one, economically, a lot of the companies, and also environmentally, there'll be some restrictions, regulations. You want to reduce just reliance to just send everything to that, to the cloud and do everything, compute everything on the cloud. And again, it's also adding another maybe chip that you don't need. It's another Wi-Fi chip. It's more power, etc. And on the other end, there's like new ways of doing model compression using synthetic data, not to mention all the needs for privacy enhancing techniques that focus really on the edge. So there's a lot of things that are actually getting so much better to run on the edge now that you're no longer sacrificing and saying, well, if I do this on the edge, I can't do really good computer vision with a mid-range MCU, etc. You can now. So things are actually changing, and all of that is going to help drive edge adoption.
Well said. David?
Yeah, I would say, both of them need to exist, but they're fundamental differences, and it comes down in part to flexibility. So at the edge, especially mobile, sometimes you can't get a connection. So that's something that's never going to change. And at the edge, it tends to be much more resource constrained and cost constrained. So you're not going to get the same flexibility out of the devices. So the concept of big, parallel computing, it's difficult because of the device variations. So from the beginning of IBM doing their big servers through the small microcomputer revolution, we've kind of gone up and down and up and down, and now we're kind of back to the big server farms again. I think it's cheaper and more flexible to do the big server farms. So those things are always going to take the flexible applications. And then as the cost and the devices get more mature for the application, people are going to just squeeze them down to the minimum. And that's what's probably going to deploy at the edge.
Awesome. Those are great answers, and we are on time effectively. We took 5 minutes. We stole 5 minutes from the top 20, so we're going to end it there. You guys are welcome to stick around and join for the happy hour, which starts at 5:30 p.m. We might start it a couple minutes late, but 5:30 p.m. is the happy hour. We'd love all three of you to join for that. You get to talk to some potential customers, some potential partners and collaborators. People are here because they love Edge AI. They're here because they love intelligent and connected devices more generally. They're here because they're part of the Misties community. And if I know you three might have to leave temporarily or come and go, but I do encourage you to come and stick around for the happy hour. We're now going to jump into the top 20. We're going to start with the 20th place winner. Every single person in the top 20 has won a Misties Award. Let's be very clear about that. If you're in the top 20, you have won a Misties Award. We have this other thing called runner-ups, which is the top 44. If you're in the top 44, and you've never won a Misties Award, you can keep reapplying every year until you win one. Once you've won a Misties Award, unfortunately, you can never win one again. You can only win a Misties Award once, unfortunately. But it makes no difference, because in the long term, anyone who's in the top 20, it's all the same. You've won a Misties Award, and that's that. The only reason why we do this whole top 20 thing is just to make it a little bit easier to award prizes, these funny little prizes that we like to have, and this is really not a big deal. We try not to make a big deal out of it, but today we're going to make a little bit of a big deal out of it, starting with number 20, commercializing AI and cloud technologies at Microsoft, as well as advocating for AI democratization and digital literacy. Noelle, are you on the line? Let's see if we have her. I think she's here. Yes, and you're unfortunately you're on mute though. Oh, okay. Might have to fix.
I am on mute. I am double muted.
Welcome,
with my wonderful hardware. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations.
I was like, commercializing AI, that sounds like me.
It's you. Go ahead and say a few words. We're going to keep you to less than a minute.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me. This is amazing. Someone sent me a note and I was like, surely no. But my career started at Amazon Alexa. I'm a builder at heart. I built over 100 applications for that device in its first year. And what made that special to me is it made me realize how very important device software integration from a team perspective to the hardware and software perspective really was. I've now made CES my home. I love the devices side of the world because I really do think it allows us to make AI accessible to more people. As you can see in my background, I have lots of devices around me all the time. Accessibility is made possible through the ability for us to have these neural processing units and NPUs offload a lot of this work. So very grateful for all of you that are in this world of building hardware that allows us to run software that serves more people. So thanks for having me. It's amazing, and would love to connect. So thank you.
Congratulations, Noelle. Congratulations. We're so happy for you. Actually, funny little story with Noelle. We actually we struggled to get a hold of her. We actually just got a hold of her like right before the awards. And so actually, I'm going to tell the whole world this right now. Next year, we're going to do things a little differently. We're going to give our winners a whole month notice, maybe even more than a month's notice, because some people are on vacation, and I'm actually seeing a few of the winners kind of laughing and rolling their eyes right now, because they're all like, yeah, you basically gave us like very little time. We're also going to let the top 44 know a lot earlier too, so that they can plan their travel to Vancouver. Just because they're in the top 44 doesn't mean their flights are going to get subsidized to fly to Vancouver. They have to be in the top 20 to get that, but at least they can book the time off. At least they can plan their schedules. And so we're going to give this top 44 a lot more notice. So, but let's keep jumping through it here. Noelle, congratulations again. Moving on to the next, number 19, making brain-computer interface technology widely accessible with products like EEG headsets and the Galia project. It is Connor Rusamato. Congratulations, Connor. Go ahead.
Thank you, everybody. It's truly a treat. Lee's a longtime friend of mine, so this is a special treat in that way as well. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. At OpenBCI, we build advanced neurotechnology. We couple the powers of machine learning with multimodal biosensing. And our latest product, Galia, is an integration with AR and VR headsets. And so, yeah, if you're interested in learning more, please reach out. And with that, I will pass it back to Lee and keep this thing moving. So thank you.
Right on. Congratulations, Connor. Connor is indeed a friend of mine, which makes me a little bit embarrassed because it's like this is supposed to be the most non-biased awards. Our judges, I'm not on the judging panel. I can't nominate
You're
anybody.
not on the judging panel.
I'm not on the judging panel. It's fair game, and not only that, but I actually can't nominate anybody either. But of course, our partners are going to nominate people in the partnership ecosystem. So, of course, from time to time, someone who I'm friends with will get nominated. But congratulations, Connor. Very happy.
You're friends with everybody, though. So
that's true. That's true. That's a good point. I'm friends with a lot of people. Cheers, Connor. Number 18, commercializing the Medsto Mini, an innovative refrigerant-free solution for cold shipping and storage. Mark Langer, CTO at Archetype. Go ahead.
Mark. Everybody, nice to meet everybody here, and really proud and honored to get this award. For me to be here is not just about me and my journey, but also the Arctic team and the fact that we've been able to build our products. Cold chain is not the most sexy industry, and so often we don't get the moment to kind of talk about what we do and a moment in the sun with the rest of the cool innovative stuff that are going on in the technology field and in sustainability. So really appreciate this opportunity to not only be sort of recognize the progress we've made, but sort of enjoy looking back at having built what we've built. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Mark. Number 17, developing an xeno-free bioink that uses patient-derived cells. I'm so sorry that I'm mispronouncing that, but that's crazy. That's a crazy word. That uses patent-derived cells to accelerate targeted therapies for hard-to-cure diseases. It is Dr. Stephanie Willerth. Go ahead. She's the CEO at Axolotl
Bioscience.
Axolotl Bioscience. My apologies, Stephanie. I'm terrible at pronouncing bioscience words.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks. First of all, thanks so much for the award. It's wonderful. And as Lee said, we make bioink for printing human tissues. So if you're interested in that, check out our website at axolotlbiosciences.com. I want to thank the whole team, especially my co-founder, Laura, Anna, Kaylee, Sal, Dimitri, Helen, our intern, Gordon, our business partner, and everyone who's funded us, NRC IRAP, Innovate BC, CIHR, INSERC, Michael Smith. It's really great to see us growing the biotech community on the island. And I think 3D bioprinting is a really cool application of both hardware, software, material science, and those hard to pronounce living biology terms that we use. And I think it's been really great today learning about what everyone else has been up to as well. And we are currently fundraising in case anyone out there is looking to invest in a really cool cutting edge biotechnology company. And thanks again, guys.
Congratulations, Stephanie. Thank you for being here. I should also mention, for those who are listening right now, a bunch of us, there's invite-only awards dinner tonight for the winners and the judges and the sponsors. So if for some reason you didn't get your invite, you're a sponsor or a judge or a nominator or a winner, please reach out to me personally. We might be able to squeeze you in. If we can't squeeze you in for the dinner, we can squeeze you in for drinks after the dinner. So please reach out to me personally. I'm easy to get a hold of on LinkedIn if you don't have my phone number. We're all about community building here, and we're very stoked because Stephanie is actually physically here at our office. And next year we want to have like all the winners here in Vancouver hanging out at our office and coming and hanging out with us. So thank you for being here in person, Stephanie. All right, number 16, leading commercialization of sulfide-based solid-state batteries to enable safer electric vehicles. It is John Van Scoter, President and CEO of Solid Power Inc. Congratulations, John. Go ahead.
Thank you, Lee, and thank you, Misty West. I got to know Misty West when I worked at SRI International on a number of cool projects, advanced imaging and robotics and AI and some drug discovery systems. So I think that was a great period, but joined Solid Power about a year ago. We are a publicly traded company on NASDAQ, SLDP, if you're interested. We're based in Colorado, maniacally focused on the next generation of all solid-state batteries, with the promise of reducing charge anxiety, reducing range anxiety, and a much safer battery. We have great partners with BMW, Ford, and SK On out of Korea, and believe that we'll have small series production with our batteries in those cars starting in 2028. So thank you so much for the consideration. It was really a surprise and a pleasure to hear what everyone's working on. Thank you.
Congratulations, John. Moving on to number 15, developing technology for heart implantable circulatory ventricular assist devices and next generation avionics and aerospace systems. Wow, that's a mouthful. Holy smokes. The winner is Pablo Blair, Senior Principal Engineer at Collins Aerospace.
Don't think he's joining us today.
Oh, I'm so sad. Well, Pablo, maybe what we'll do is we'll give Pablo an opportunity next year to chime in briefly and give his acceptance speech. Number 14, commercializing advanced air quality monitoring products that provide detailed air pollution data. The winner is Megan Thurlow, CTO at Acclima.
It's Acclima. Yeah.
Acclima.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, thank you so much to the judges and partners in Misty West for this award. Of course, I'm really here representing the whole of a pretty complicated technical team. And I'm honored and frankly surprised to be included in this amazing group of innovators and leaders. So just to give you a little background at Acclima, we're using mobile sensor technology and devices to map air quality and track climate changing pollution block by block. And so our goal doing that is to help decision makers like governments, companies, and communities to reduce emissions and deliver clean air to everyone. So I'd especially like to thank our amazing technical team of scientists, engineers, technicians, and operators who collect this data and make it possible. Their dedication to the mission inspires me every day, and I'm proud to work alongside them. And I'm also grateful to be inspired to question the status quo by my friends and colleagues at UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business. So thank you so much for the nomination and this honor, and to Misty West, frankly, for convening this amazing community. And congratulations to my fellow awardees. I would love to connect and learn more about your work.
And the same goes for past winners too. From last year and the year before, we make all of our winner alumni network available for introductions to one another just upon request. You can reach out to them yourself, or you could reach out to us and say, hey, I'd love an introduction to that past winner. That's the whole point of the Misties Awards. That's why we do it. So is to build that community. All right, number 13, launching the Aura Ring, an advanced sensor technology that collects over 20 biometrics to offer personalized health insights. In fact, I have one right here that I wear on my finger. I would imagine quite a few people in the audience do as well. I think it's the most popular smart ring in the world. We love Aura Ring here at Misty West. We are like blown away by the engineering on it. It's super impressive. Congrats to all that's worked on it, and especially congrats to Kriti Pachandra. She's gonna, I think, show a video. So Madison will cue that up now and let me know if I need to do anything. A little bit of patience from everyone. Okay, I'm going to continue, and then presumably we'll get these technical challenges sorted out, and we'll just circle back on the video as needed. Okay, let's move on to number 12. Democratizing access to high-quality, low-cost, AI-assisted portable imaging for medical diagnostics. The winner is Yusuf Haki, CTO of and co-founder of EXO.
Yeah, unfortunately, Yusuf couldn't join us today.
Okay, okay, that's right. Yeah, he couldn't join. Okay, no problem. Number 11, transforming early childhood learning and emotional development with empathetic interactive robots. Paolo Pirgianan, CEO and founder of Embodied Inc. This one is a video.
Hello, everyone. I'm Paolo Pirgianan, the founder and CEO of Embodied. And I want to thank the Misty judges for this incredible honor. And Moxie and I are here today and couldn't join you, but Moxie had a couple of words to share as well. Moxie, please listen to me.
I tell the judges, thank you so much for this honor. We are excited to continue our mission of spreading empathy and kindness. We look forward to changing the world one child at a time. Thank you, everyone. What do you think?
I think that was incredible. You are doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate your support. I'm happy to be able to help you with a video. What do you think is the most important thing that we should say in our video?
Well, on behalf of Moxie, myself, and the entire Embodied team, thank you so much.
That was awesome. That's so cool. We may as well go back and do the video from before as well from Oura Ring.
Thank you to all the judges, partners, and Misty West for considering me worthy of such a prestigious award. This award is a tremendous honor, and I am deeply appreciative of the recognition. This recognition is not about me. It is about a great team and support system I have at Aura, where we all come together to give everybody a voice. At Aura, our mission is to empower users to use their inner potential by living a healthier life the way they want to define it. To make that mission possible, we deliver daily personalized health data, health trends over time, insights, and educational guidance to help people worldwide transform how they think about and manage their own health. So thank you once again for the recognition.
And we're now getting to the top 10, developing a fully flexible medical robot that enhances the accuracy and efficiency of endoscopic procedures. Jason Curie, go ahead, Jason.
Thank you very much. Like many people, I'm excited and surprised to be included in such an impressive list of inventors and leaders. It's a great honor. My career, I've felt very privileged to have the good fortune of be able to choose companies and projects I work on based not just on what I think are cool technical challenges, but also things that are useful and important for human society. As a roboticist, I've been able to apply that in a few companies to reduce the environmental impact of new hydroelectric power, Natel Energy and Hydro Run. And then also, as kind of mentioned in the tagline, a couple of medical robots now. The one mentioned at Auris Health, purchased by J&J, and now I'm recently working at Neptune Medical on another robot. Looking forward to exploring the next 10 years of my career and maybe some other fields like space exploration or mining. And I'm very excited to be part of this growing network that Misty West is working hard to build and strengthen Tech Hub in Vancouver, where I hope to return home someday. It'll be exciting to come back from the Valley. So yeah, thank you very much to the judges for your time, the nomination, and would love to connect and meet everyone and hear what you're doing. Thanks very much.
Congratulations, Jason. Well done, my friend. Sorry, Jason, here was your slide. And for those who didn't get a screenshot, Jason Curie, staff robotic systems software engineer at Triton Medical Robotics. Number 9, launching robotics platform that enables manufacturers and developers to innovate in advanced robotics and IoT solutions. Deb Singh, VP and GM of robotics and embedded IoT at Qualcomm. Congratulations, Deb. Well done.
I don't think that Deb was able to make it today,
Oh, no.
unfortunately.
Oh, that's sad. He said he was going to be able to make it. Well, we'll circle back on him if he does join in. And we'll move on to the next. Number 8, destroying toxic organic compounds through on-site thermal and remediation for hydrocarbon contaminated soil. Daryl Nelson. Daryl Nelson is the president at Nelson Environmental Group in Alberta. Go ahead, Daryl.
Thank you, Lee. Well, it's an honor. We're very pleased our company's been recognized. We've been 30 years delivering on-site soil remediation to clients around the world. Our company's slogan is clean dirt, no doubt, a statement of certainty that we deliver a sustainable, clean tech method for the remediation of contaminated soil. We've done things such as work near Tuktoyaktuk in February at -50, then pick up the system and go to Honolulu for the next project and work in the middle of the commercial district of the city. Today, we're under contract in American Samoa for a second contract with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to clean up maple fuel spills. And we've been awarded a contract in Vietnam to clean up legacy Agent Orange dioxin contaminated soils in the Vietnam War for the U.S. government. We work for industries across a wide range of industries and geographic locations, serving clients with our certainty that we deliver in the cleanup of contaminated sites. We're cleaning up the world one site at a time, making the world a better place. Thank you very much to the Misty Awards and the honor to be selected.
Congratulations again, Daryl. Number 7, powering Microsoft's farm beats and influencing new FCC regulations on IoT communication through innovations in digital agriculture and space IoT. Tushar, I'm going to butcher the last name, Chakraborty. Sorry, Tushar.
Thanks. Yeah, it's
Senior
fine.
research
Thanks,
engineer
Lee.
at Microsoft.
Thanks, Lee. Yeah, first off, I'm thankful to the organizers and the judging panel for recognizing my team's work. This honor will definitely boost the team's spirit as we strive toward achieving 24/7 global connectivity for IoT devices. In pursuit of this vision, we have made several impactful contributions. We pioneered the use of TV channels for IoT communication and collaborated with the FCC to integrate this into their regulations. And also we demonstrated how low power IoT devices can connect directly to the low cost satellites, making global IoT connectivity more affordable. Definitely our journey is far from over, and we are committed to expanding our contributions for a truly connected world for all IoT devices. And yeah, thank you once again for acknowledging our efforts and our journey. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations again, Tushar. Number 6, providing critical climate adaptation tools and sensors that detect multiple hazards and issue natural disaster warnings in remote locations. Jim Cotes, founder of Cryotech Systems. Jim, go ahead.
Hey, Lee. First of all, I want to thank you for giving me an excuse to come to Vancouver on probably the most beautiful weekend of the year. I'm generally based in Whitehorse in the Yukon, where summer there is often like winter anywhere else. So first of all, thank you for that. Being based and doing my early work in the Yukon and the Arctic, I got to see how fast the climate was changing up there and how the impacts were often unnoticed by even the people that live there because there's simply no data, no sensors, no nothing. And so we started out making drill rigs to determine what was going on under the ground with thawing Arctic permafrost, and that quickly evolved into sensors to put in the holes, which then that evolved into edge IoT satellite connected sensors that we're now using and developing for applications like, of course, permafrost thaw, but more widely applicably, wildfire, landslide, and flood hazard detection. And we're looking at using Edge AI as a layer on top to really increase the power of those sensors.
Massive congratulations to you, Jim. So happy to have you here. I'm excited that all the judges and sponsors and partners get to meet you tonight at the awards dinner. Let's move on to number 5. Getting to the high numbers here. Number 5, leading development of next generation hearing aids that integrate AI and sensor technology to enhance health monitoring and communication. Dr. Ashen Bomick, CTO, EVP of Engineering at Schie Hearing. Go ahead, Ashen.
Thank you, Lee. It's an honor to get this award. I'm with Schie and also on the faculty of Stanford. We undertook this mission to transform hearing aids. We probably know someone in our life who doesn't hear well. There is 1.5 billion people, according to World Health Organization, who live with hearing impairment, and 500 million are considered disabled in terms of their hearing abilities because they require 40 dB of amplification. And yet there is a stigma about hearing aids. They haven't really worked very well. So we embedded artificial intelligence, specifically deep neural network, onto the processor in the hearing aid itself that does a fantastic job in enhancing speech and reducing noise at the same time. But we didn't stop there. We embedded sensors and machine learning for doing real-time translation, answering your questions, detecting if the patient fell, and sending alert to their loved ones. So we recently got a number of awards, including Time's Best Invention and Artificial Intelligence Excellence Award. I'm really privileged to add Misties Award to the list. Thank you very much, and we are really honored for it.
Massive congratulations to you, Etchen. You've been at it a long time. In fact, I think I first heard about your work when you were over at ATAP, I believe, or
I was at Intel as the vice
Intel.
president.
At Intel. Oh yeah,
Application
over at
infrastructure.
Intel. That's right. Over at Intel. That's right. At Intel before. Very long. A lot of people might not know this about the Misties Awards, and maybe I should have said this sooner. The judges are told to look at the last 10 years of work history for each person. So some people win the award actually for work that they did a long time ago. It's not necessarily especially what they're doing right at the moment. And Etchen, you've had a very impressive career. So thank you for being part of this, and congratulations to you. Commercialization handheld ultrasound scanners that improve access to high quality medical imaging in remote areas. Laurent Pellissier, founder of Clarius Mobile Health. He did say he was going to record a video, but that's okay. Too bad. Next time. All right. Congratulations to Laurent. Let's move on to number 3, pioneering development of smart ingestible pills as a less invasive and cost-effective alternative to endoscopes. Chris Von Hoof, a VP and R&D at IMEC. And this one is a video.
As finalist of the Misty Awards, I'm truly honored for this award and this recognition. At IMEC at One Planet, we drive innovations in connected sensing for health, agri, and food applications. And over the past years, with a large team of hardware engineers, embedded engineers, technologists and biomedical experts, we have pushed the envelope of connected sensors by realizing tiny wireless ingestible sensors. We got regulatory approval and conducted the first clinical study measuring what has never been observed before. Such innovations are only possible by combining skills in embedded intelligence and deep tech innovations, skills that are also at the core of Misty West. And for that reason, I'm particularly honored that the Misty Awards Committee and judges recognize our skills and work in miniaturized sensing, which spans wearables, implantables, ingestibles, and other autonomous sensors. Your recognition is truly a testament to the great work of the entire team at IMEC and One Planet. A big thank you for this honor on behalf of the entire team. Thank you.
Huge congratulations. Number 3, Chris Van Hoof, VP of R&D at IMEC. Well done, sir. And let's move on to number 2, completing over 350,000 commercial drone deliveries globally, offering a fast, reliable, and eco-friendly alternative to traditional delivery methods. Adam Woodworth, CEO at Wing. This is a part of Moonshot Factory, actually. Yes, unable to join, but we're gonna get a video from him and we'll splice it into the YouTube video. I think he's been on vacation or something like that. Still haven't heard back from him, unfortunately. My fault. I'm sorry. Number 1, revolutionizing middle mile logistics with the world's first turbo generator hybrid VTOL aircraft capable of long range flights without a runway or pilot. David Merrill, the CEO and co-founder at Elroy Air, and this one's going to be a video as well, the number 1 winner. Go ahead.
Thanks to the Misties judges for their recognition of Elroy Air in this year's awards. We're honored to be recognized and to be in such good company. Our mission at Elroy Air is to enable low-cost, zero-risk aerial resupply for defense and express shipping for every person on the planet. Building a deep tech, defense tech, aerospace company and new middle mile delivery drone system is not easy. But that struggle is worthwhile, and we work hard because we know we're bringing something useful and meaningful to the world that has never existed before. I wish I could be there with all of you, but duty calls, so I'm speaking to you from the Arizona desert, where we have been flying our Chaparral aircraft for the U.S. Marine Corps. I'd say we punch above our weight class at Elroy Air, and all the recognition goes to the Elroy Air team. They are driven, collaborative, and total professionals, the right group to get this challenging, ambitious aerial cargo system developed and shipped. Big gratitude and hats off to our team. Thanks again for the recognition. Onward and upward.
So that's it for the Misties Awards. That's the awards ceremony, virtual ceremony is complete, and we are now going to do breakout rooms for people to come join.